Hello everybody, happy Monday. And if you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. My name's Melanie. I do RV life in the USA. On Fridays I share our life. On Mondays I share my cooking. And this Monday for the month of October, I'm doing all slow cooker meals. So I have another 5 coming at you today. I will link last week's video down below. If you love crockpot meals, there was 5 of them last week as well. And without further ado, we'll get to cooking. But I want to say one thing. Don't worry about writing everything down and trying to remember. In the description box below, there's a link that goes to my blog. All the recipe ingredients and directions are in there for you. So sit back and enjoy, and thank you for watching. Now for a lasagna, and you can't tell that this was not done in an oven. The first thing we're going to do is cook our ground beef and our onion. Now I did that off camera because I was doing it along with some other meat that I was using. However, I didn't have onion in it, so if you want to put onion in yours, you can do that. I'm going to mix in now the marinara sauce to the meat, and then we're going to spread a thin layer of the meat sauce on the bottom of the slow cooker. Now we're going to do a layer of noodles, and if they don't fit, just break them up. Now we're going to do another layer of the sauce. Mozzarella's next. Next is ricotta, but hubby and I don't like ricotta, so I use some cream cheese. It was a whipped one. A little harder to get in than ricotta, but it did taste delicious. And then last but not least, the Parmesan. Now we're going to keep repeating until we run out of sauce. I feel like I'm playing Tetris, just trying to get the whole top covered, because this will be my last bit of sauce that I have left, so it'll be the top. It says to cook this on low 4 to 5 hours. I did 4 and mine was done, but just make sure your noodles are cooked through. Here are our finished plates. It was absolutely delicious and I just served it with some garlic toast. I hope you try it. Here are our ingredients for our chicken Alfredo pasta. And the first thing we're going to do is cut up the chicken and get that into the slow cooker. We're going to top the chicken with our cream, our broth, garlic, and Italian seasoning. Now this can be cooked on low for 4 to 5 hours, which is what I did, or you can cook it on high for 2 to 3. Now our time is up. We're going to get the chicken out and we're going to shred it, put it back in the pot. And be sure to make sure your chicken is cooked to 165 degrees. Now we're going to stir in our Parmesan cheese. And on the stove I have my penne pasta cooking. We'll just serve this up. Our plates are coming up shortly. It was absolutely delicious and I hope you give this one a try. Now we're going to make some barbecued pulled pork. Here are your ingredients if you want to do a screenshot. Now I had purchased a pork shoulder from Walmart for delivery and it asked for 3 to 4 pounds. I don't think mine was 2. So I had a pork loin in the freezer outside in the shed. I went ahead and got that out the day before. So I have a mixture of pork shoulder and pork loin, but pork's pork. So now I'm going to rub the pork with brown sugar, garlic powder, and paprika. And after we get that done, we're gonna slice up our onions and put them in the bottom of the slow cooker. Now I cut my onions up ahead of time and put them in the freezer, and the only thing I had was diced. So that's what I used and it turned out just fine. So whatever you have handy. Now we're going to put the broth and the Worcestershire sauce around the edge. And this cooks on low 8 to 10 hours, or you can do high for 5. So whichever works for you. I believe I did high on this day because it was later in the day when I got it started. But once that's done, you're going to get it out and you're going to shred it up. I went ahead and used this shredder that I've been using for the chicken, and it did quite well. The skin, however, I had to do with a fork. It seemed to have sort of a skin that stuck to the top of this spinner, so I had to get it out. But you know, it still was easier than using 2 forks. After that, you're going to put on your barbecue sauce and get everything mixed up. Now, it called for a cup of barbecue sauce, but I've changed it to barbecue sauce to taste because I used a whole lot more, but then again I had a whole lot more meat, so just do it to your liking. Now I like to put mine in the oven for a little while. I'll cover it with foil, put it in a 350-degree oven, get it warmed up for about 10 minutes, and then I take the foil off and it crisps up the top of the meat, and it is fantastic. So that's optional. This is how it comes out of the oven. And then here are our finished plates. It was absolutely delicious. We love pulled pork, and I have 2 containers of it in the freezer for another day. Now we're gonna make a pretty standard meatloaf in the slow cooker. We got our ground beef, brown sugar, 2 eggs, some milk, ketchup, garlic powder, Worcestershire sauce, and some diced onion. Mine, however, wasn't diced, so it was sliced, but it's all I had in the house. It worked out. So now we just get everything into the bowl, and then I'll get my gloves on and we'll get this all mixed together. Now I'm going to shape it up and put it on this tray which fits inside my slow cooker, and I like that because then all the grease goes through and it doesn't sit in the grease while it's cooking. So I really like that. Now we put half the ketchup in the meatloaf, the other half we put on top and just spread it out for the topping. I'm just making a little foil sling to go under the rack so that I can lower into the slow cooker without dumping the meatloaf, and also if I need to get it out for any reason, I can do that too. Now we're going to set our time. You can cook this on high 3 to 4 hours or low 6 to 7, which is what I'm doing. I did put it on for 7 and was perfectly cooked. I sliced it up before I served it. This is what it looked like. And here are our finished plates. I made mashed potatoes, gravy, and green beans to go along with it, and it was a fantastic dinner. Today we're making a lovely white chicken chili, and the first thing I did was put the chicken in the slow cooker, and then we're going to add our beans, our corn, our green chilies, onion, broth, which is 4 cups of chicken broth, and the spices. I'll get this mixed up, and this cooks on low for 6 hours. Now all that's left to do is to shred the chicken. Again, I'm using this fantastic shredder that my daughter introduced me to, and I'll keep it linked in the description box below throughout October if you're interested. Now we're going to add the sour cream and the cheese. My slow cooker had gone to keep warm, so if that happens to you, you want to put it back on low. And then after you've put the 2 ingredients in the pot, you put the lid on and let it cook for like 30-ish minutes until the cheese is melted. Here come our finished plates. We did add a little extra cheese on top. The only thing I had to serve it with was saltines, but I think this would be fantastic with tortilla chips. I hope you give it a try.